It's what I call that big ugly bill that is giving massive tax breaks to corporations and the wealthy and the well-connected to take your health care away, or it's the incessant corruption, the market manipulation, or this war in Iran that they promised. When I talk to people, it doesn't matter if they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, they feel betrayed. They were promised that people were going to go to Washington and lower costs and not go into unending wars. And what has happened? The exact opposite. The exact opposite. And I want you to know it's in the Democrats that have been fighting every chance we get to make sure that you're going to get some relief from these policies, these extreme policies. One good example, this week we passed a bipartisan housing bill. Everywhere I go, we know the cost of rent and housing is out of sight. So many young people across this community wonder if they will ever be able to own a home. So we hammered out a bipartisan bill. It's the most important housing affordability bill in decades. It would help first-time home buyers. It would help lower the cost of manufactured homes. It would not, if you're a veteran, it's not going to count your disability to qualify for a VA loan. All sorts of smart policies. And what happens? This president throws a temper tantrum and refuses to sign this housing affordability bill. And he says it doesn't matter, that people they're not suffering from the housing squeeze. Well, he's wrong. And all of our neighbors need to know about this. And a lot of this goes, you'll be very proud of what Democrats have done in staying together to hold folks accountable when it comes to the corruption. Look at what they've done to try to hide the Epstein files. And it was Democrats that stayed united and brought across a few of the Republicans to pass the Epstein Transparency Act. And ever since we passed that new law, Trump and the extreme Republicans like Todd Blanchard tried to hold the line and not allow us to understand who was involved in that pedophile ring, because we know the president's trying to protect so many of his cronies. And we see it in the market manipulation. Just yesterday, we're supposed to be in a ceasefire in this war, right? Well, Iran's not following the script. And the U.S. had to respond yesterday, but what did they do? They waited until the markets closed yesterday to announce that they had fired weapons. Because they're playing this game. They're rigging this game. So it's going to take all of us fighting. There are some great candidates here. Change is in the air. Do you feel it? I feel it everywhere I go. Do not give up on your neighbors. I know that I was talking to some new friends, and sometimes it's you pick a team, right? Florida State, FAMU, Bethune, you're on the red team or the blue team. But right now, we're about to celebrate America's 250th birthday, where we fought for independence from a king, right? And oppression. And it's time for all of us to come together and stand up for what's right. Lower costs, an end to the incessant corruption, health care that is affordable and meaningful. And when you think of those three C's, I want you to also think about Castor cares, and she's going to fight for you. So I've got some folks here with clipboards. If you would join our team and help us across Plant City, Penongahsasa, Valrico, Brandon, Dover, we have a lot of new friends to make. Because I want them to see me face to face. Let's talk about this. There are 8 Republicans in a primary. They're going to fight it out and go way far to the right. And that gives me time without a primary to be out in churches. Faith and family are bedrocks of my campaign. And I need to get to know a lot of new neighbors. So I need your help. Will you invite me to your neighborhood association? Will you invite me to your church? Will you invite me to Fred's for breakfast? I'll meet you there and pick up the tab. All right? So you guys show these clipboards. Would you all go ahead and send them around, sign up, join our effort. I need your help. I love my community. I love my family. I love my faith, and that is the motivation to make sure we tackle the higher cost of living, the chaos, the corruption, to make sure you have health care that you can afford. Thanks, everybody.